Good morning. It's day 3 of the Crack Like content. And I'm just gonna, since I'm only bringing this into the group because this is a very private training, I just want to make sure that it just shows up. But how are you guys doing? Today I'm gonna go over a couple of questions and also the different content that you need, like how do you attract to different personalities? Where are my questions? There they are. So if you are watching this live, let me know where you're watching from. Let's see. I'm using Ecamm, so Ecamm now is like with all the privacy stuff, like you have to like give Ecamm permission to use your name. So that's why I'm also just kind of watching it inside the group. That way, if you do have comments or questions, hopefully I'll see them. So let me just start with invite the group members, copy. Let's see if this will actually, if I can do this. There's always like all these like little moving parts, but bear with me. I appreciate your patience and I assure you it will be well worth it. Here we go. There we go. Now I can just shut this stuff off so I can just totally concentrate on you guys. Okay. Let me just kind of go over quickly. One of the questions was regarding the Zoom call, the private Zoom, where it's almost going to be like hot seat coaching. You're going to get my eyes on your content. That is probably will be recorded, but it's not going to be recorded for distribution, if that makes any sense. Most likely it's not going to be recorded because I want it to be a private, intimate place for you to actually bring your content, share it, and get my eyes and my feedback on how you can actually change it so that you get better results. And the whole point of writing content, like I've said before, is it is a money-making activity. So don't ever feel like I'm writing this content for nothing. No, it's a money-making activity, and I want you to make sure that you save it. And I'm also going to show you in the Zoom, the private session tomorrow. You're going to, I'll actually show you, excuse me, my content vault, which just organizes everything so that everything is super easy to find. And you can also get a copy of that because I do it all in Trello and it's a template, and if you are just going to just love it. It has taken me a couple of years to develop and come up with, and I'm just so thrilled, and I am willing to share that with you guys. So another question that I got was, can I submit content for review? And the answer is yes. I would love that. You're going to, like, if you're on the Crack Like content email list, which let me just put this up here, you can just reply to that email. So make sure you open that because that's where you're going to get the link for the private Zoom call. So yes, you can submit content for review. And the third question that I got yesterday was, what do I do when a group doesn't allow me promo links? And here's my secret. This is what I do all the time. You just don't put your link in there. Like I literally, like for this particular free training, I just let people know that I was doing a free training, took out the link, and guess what people do? They will come and stalk you on the internet. I was going to say like hunt you down. They will come and find you. They will literally like go to your personal page. If you're using your personal page to post into groups, if you're using your business page, they're going to end up on your business page, however it is that you're posting into groups. So make sure you have information about any sort of free training and about your business on those pages. So for example, if you're using your personal page, which is what I highly recommend, and that's how I actually post in groups. I don't use my I don't use my business page. There's information on my personal page about like, hey, I work for, this is the name of my company, which actually takes you to my business page. So there's just like these breadcrumbs. I shared from my business page to my personal page posts about this particular training, crack like content, because Facebook doesn't like you using your personal page for business reasons, but you can share stuff from another place, from your business page over to your personal page. And if you're not yet familiar with making different lists with your personal page, so I have lists that are called like entrepreneurs and friends and family. That way you can actually share stuff with only certain groups of people. So you don't have to feel like you're bugging your friends all the time. Um, but I do have like my friends, and there are some public posts about correct like content. That way, again, if somebody's not friends with me yet, they can go over to my page and they'll see some of the public stuff that I've got. So anyways, that's like more of a science to it, but that's exactly what I do. And I will be explaining a lot more about that. So today is about the 4 different personalities. Yes, you can essentially put people into different personalities. Called the DISC model, DISC. You can look that up. It's a 4-quadrant personality profile. It's based off of 2 very simple questions that puts people like into these grids. It doesn't mean that somebody is only in one particular quadrant. As a matter of fact, I have done a number of trainings for companies and organizations and leadership groups when I was in the leadership area because I found this fascinating. And this is a phenomenal form of communication. We do, as human beings, float between all the different quadrants. However, there is 1 to 2 that we basically hang out the most in. And so DISC stands for, each different company like labeled some differently. They have different names for them, but the personality profiles in them are essentially the same. So here's what you need to do. By writing a piece of content, you can easily change that to appeal to those 4 different people. And it becomes super easy once you get into the habit, once you're like, oh my God, like you've done it a few times, it will come so easy for you. So here's, and I'm going to go over that. So I'll do that first. And the reason why you want to do this is because people are scanners before they are readers. And that's really important to understand. Watch your own behavior. Are you scanning through something? Or do you read every single post? My hunch is that you don't read every single post. You are scanning for the stuff that is going to like, what should you be reading? So with people being scanners before they're readers, I am a firm believer in things being aesthetically pleasing. So look at the way that Facebook has changed, with the H1, H2, you can actually format stuff, make things bold, put things in italics. That all makes your post aesthetically pleasing. Having space allows for your scanners. So how do you get people to read your posts? So let's talk about the 4 different personality types. Your first one, D, it's considered like your doer. If you go by the main DISC model, it's a doer. So they're going to want to know what's in this for me, and I need to know quickly. That's your D. So you need some sort of a headline at the top that, boom, here's what it is. But also, doers love bullets. Love bold bullets. Love stuff that like just bold lines that just like, that almost like summarizes a long post. Your eyes are your influencers. These are your people who just naturally are the life of the party. They love to party. They love to have a good time. So in your post, if you explain to them about how this is going to be fun, So, for instance, if I was appealing to the I's about, um, so I am mostly a D with an I, and like that's a whole other topic, but I can explain all the other ones to you also. Um, so I might say, content is a money making activity. That is a D comment. An I comment is writing. Let me show you how to write content. Let me show you how writing content is actually a lot of fun. Let me show you how making money is a whole lot of fun. Let me show you, like, like even I's also love like the friend thing. Like it's whenever there's something to do, it's about like the group of people. So it's the let me show you like how to attract more friends, have more fun, influence more people. Like you are part of a group. And then you go into the conscientious and more the scientific people. So we've got people who are so like more like your I'm going to call like in this online space, like your VAs, the behind the scenes people, the social media managers. These people are like a phenomenal support staff. So that's another type of person. So they're all about how can this help others? How can I help other people with this information? So, crack like content, you know, this particular free training will help you reach more people to help them with your knowledge. Then you get your last one, which are your scientific people. And the best way to attract these people is to add numbers. They love science and data. So, when I ran this program the first time, I actually had shared a post within this private community about what makes you stop to read someone's posts. And I was so surprised by some of the people that I hadn't pegged as those scientific people, but they said numbers. If I see a number in the headline or the very first line of your social media post, they stop and read things. So that's what I mean. Like there are 4 different personality types that are out there. There's your doers, your life of the party, your support staff, your scientific people. And by attracting to each of them, instead of writing to only one, you are going to attract more people. Now, this does not come down to one of the things that I know that you're probably thinking is, yeah, but my ideal client is a certain personality. I would beg to differ with you. So if you actually start integrating this writing for these different personality types into your content and not just writing for your own personality type, you are going to attract more people. Now remember, your content has 2 functions: to draw in the right people who you are perfect to work with, and to push aside the people who aren't perfect. And the people that you're pushing aside, remember, become phenomenal referrals for you. So you want to get known. So we want to make sure that people actually are reading our posts. So what's the anatomy of a phenomenal post that's crack-like, that's addictive, that gets you engagement? You've got to give people the headline. There needs to be a reason why I'm reading something. They've done studies about really good headlines. And when I say headlines in the Facebook world and in Instagram world, that's the first line. Okay. For my podcast, be in demand. It is about the title, because if you're new to my podcast and you haven't become a subscriber, which I hope that you have, you might, somebody like in the future is definitely going to, like right now I've got like 10 or 11 different podcast episodes that are dripping out. You'll go and you'll look on your podcast app, and you might not start at the first one. It's those headlines that are going to grab people, that they need to know like what this particular podcast is all about. So you need that headline. whether you've got numbers, whether it's about something about how to have fun, whether it's just something very bold and here's what you're going to learn about this. And then you can have whatever in the middle. Yes, they've done studies that you can have amazing content, lousy title. The stats about getting that read are low. Have an amazing headline. I'm just going to say like crappy middle, and people still read it. So really put some emphasis on your first line. And even like experiment. I have found that different groups on Facebook, just respond differently. So, and then you can, in the middle, have your stuff, have what you're teaching, have what you are trying to like engage people to do. And your bottom has got to be about your call to action. What are the lessons? What do you want me to do to deepen the learning? Maybe you wanted me to jump on a call. Give me something to do. When I was in professional speaking, my opening, writing content is so similar to giving a speech. You have to give people a reason to listen to you. You have to give people like a reason to, I would tell people, like to put down their phones and continue to listen. So you only have that one line. You only have that couple of seconds. If you're doing videos, if you're doing live streams, you've got to give people a reason to continue to listen. Then go into your teaching, go into your story, and there's got to be the lessons at the end. There's got to be the call to action. What is the next step that you want people to take? In speaking, it was like, it could be sign up for this particular opt-in. You can do that exactly in your content that you've got right now. Here's an opt-in that has more of this information. If this is confusing for you, jump on a call with me. You make that connection for people so that they know why they're making that next step, why they're taking whatever your call to action is. Like maybe it's to share something down below. We want to get people to engage in our content. So there should be like a lot of like simple questions, easy to do. Remember, people are busy. And one of the things that I tell my private clients, and don't worry, you'll have this opportunity to get my eyes on your content so that you start seeing really amazing results from your content. I mean, I'm like I love like creating content. I like lost my train of thought right there. So you'll have this opportunity to get my eyes on your content so that you get real results. That's what I wanted to say. So I hope this has been helpful. So day 1, we went over the pillars. Day 2, we went over your subcategories. And day 3, like we talked about the different personality types, the anatomy of a really good post, and that we are scanners before we are readers. And on the Zoom call, we are going to go through like, what is your path or your funnel that you like? If you like to use the word funnel, I prefer the word path. What's your customer path? We're going to talk more about that on the private Zoom call so that you are guiding your clients, your ideal clients, your potential new buyers, your prospects through a path so that they get on the call with you. Because I want you to be successful. If you're new here and you're new to the online world and you're like, I just don't know how to do this. I'm seeing other people and they're claiming like within a couple of months they were fully booked out. How do I do that? I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got this for you. It took me a very long time myself to figure this out, and I am sharing all of my secrets with you. So make sure that you jump on that live tomorrow. So if you're not on the email list, the only people who are going to get the link to the private live Zoom room is if you are on the speakandstandout.com/content-training. So make sure that you're on that email list so that you get that email with the Zoom link. And it is, let's see, we are doing this tomorrow. And you're probably wondering, what time tomorrow? And I'll make sure that I post it down below because it's probably going to be, I'm doing it in the afternoon. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is the time. So you have enough time to if this is the first video that you're watching and you feel like, oh my God, I haven't done any of the homework. Trust me, if you've been in this online space for a little bit, it's going to be super easy is what I'm trying to say. Super easy for you to do the homework. And even if you don't have your homework done, just show up because we can walk you through quickly how to do your homework. Because remember, it's just about what are the pillars that I'm going to talk about? What are the pillars that I want to be known for? And then what are those subcategories that are underneath each of those pillars? And right there is an amazing amount of content. You will never wonder, what am I writing about next week, the week after, etc. And then I just kind of like show my clients like how you actually integrate that with what you're launching. So we'll talk more about that on the Zoom call. If you have any questions, if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, just type them down below, tag me, and I will be sure to answer your questions. And I will see you tomorrow on the private Zoom.